right, so today we're making creamy spinach pasta. I have student James Leininger here who is at the moment checking on the angel hair pasta. We just put that in a few minutes ago. We chose that because it's going to cook up very quickly. He's going to start by making the sauce by preheating the skillet that we have. Then he's going to add we have 3 tablespoons of butter. You want to have medium heat here. You want the butter to melt. You don't want it to start browning. Okay, so the pasta is al dente. We have a colander in the sink we're straining that into, and it'll just take a few minutes for us to make the sauce. So our butter's melted and we can hear a little bit of sizzle. We're going to add we have dried minced onions that we're adding today. If you do chop up your own fresh onion, you're going to want to cook this longer than we do with the dried product. Okay, so it only took a minute or so to get these to soften up. And the next step is going to be to add the remainder of our dry ingredients, which is our flour, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, and black pepper. And then we're just going to whisk that together until the flour is evenly moistened. So we're just stirring this together. Try to get it as smooth as we can. The next step is we're going to slowly add in the chicken broth. You want to do this slowly. If you pour all of it in at one time, you're going to make a big mess. You're going to have clumps of the flour and butter that are not going to dissolve in your liquid. Okay, so once we're satisfied we have a nice texture, we'll go ahead and continue adding the liquids. So it's 1 can of the chicken broth, and then 3/4 cup or 6 fluid ounces, and today we're using evaporated skim milk. We're going to heat this up to a boil, and that will cause the flour in there is going to help to make that a little bit thicker for that sauce. Here's a trick so your pasta doesn't stick together. We're going to take a little bit of butter and go ahead and toss the pasta with it. The fat in the butter will keep the pasta from sticking together. So once we have our boil, we're going to let it simmer for a few minutes. Okay, so that's been simmering for a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and add the spinach and get that stirred in. We took a can of spinach and rinsed it out and let it drain through the colander. Okay, the sauce is looking very good, and now we're going to finish it off with the Parmesan cheese. So if you had cooked your pasta ahead of time and had kept it in the fridge, you could have a pot of boiling water that you could dip it into if you have a some type of colander to dip it into, or even put it in a colander and pour the hot water over it to heat it up. But ours is still hot, so at this point we're going to turn off the sauce and put it into our big pot. But we're going to toss together the pasta and the sauce and then set up a couple plates. So here we have 2 plates of our creamy spinach pasta. There's enough in the pot to serve a total of 5 people. Enjoy.